Hey guys, this is Steelcake Gaming here, back with another scripting tutorial. And today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a billboard sort of change with a timer. Now, of course, as you can guess, this was requested by someone. I forgot their name. If I can, I'll whip it up right here. There you go. But yeah, he asked if I could make some text change on a block, not a GUI, with a certain timer. Now, of course, this was a little broad, but I'm going to be assuming that he wants to put some sort of timer onto said block. So, in that case, that is what I'm going to do. Now, for tutorial purposes, I will be making it so that when you press a button, the timer will start and count down on here. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. Now, before I actually start off with the script right over here, I'm just going to go through what I did here. So for the board itself, I put just a part right here, nothing very special. Inside, I put a surface GUI, and I set the face to back because I don't exactly want the face or the GUI to be on top of here or back here. No, I want it to be here. So then, actually, I think that's all for surface GUI. For text label, I set background transparency to 1, border size pixel to 0, size, scale 1, offset 0, scale 1, offset 0 as well. For text, just changed it to Gotham bold, because I like the smooth, modern sort of look. And of course, some very poetic text right here. So yeah. For the button, of course, just put some metal block, some cylinders, pretty self-explanatory. I put in a sound that will play. Very beautiful sound. Set the volume down so your ears don't die. And of course, I put a click detector inside the actual button part. All of these are anchored, by the way. Except this one. I should probably anchor this one. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. Now, I know what you're thinking. What the heck is this? Now, this is technically just for the button, okay? All of this, or at least most of this right here, is completely unnecessary for whatever you're probably doing. This is just so that the button pops in and out. But if I were to go through it, this is just for reloading. So the stuff right here, the wait one and all that, what it's saying is that it's checking if it's currently reloading, so that's why db is equal to false, so it's checking that. Then if it's not reloaded, then of course turn reload on because it's going to be pressed, and then wait however long, turn it off. Script.parent.sound : play, that's just playing the absolutely beautiful sound that I found. And of course, here I'm just referencing the click detector, so script.parent.click detector mouse click, so that's an event, so when a player clicks it, then of course do whatever's in here. Player over here, I don't think this is really necessary, I just put it there out of good habit. What it does is it just finds the player name. So yeah. Now, of course, I won't be going into specifics about this stuff, it's very unnecessary, just popping it in, popping it out, change color. But inside here, we want our own sort of custom thing to happen. So what I'm planning on doing is that I want this button to pop in, change the text here, and then pop back out. So while the button is pressed, the text on the billboard will change. So that is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to actually take out the wait because we want our own custom time, so that the second that this timer finishes, we want the button to pop back out. So, yeah. Now the reason why I added spaces here is because all this stuff is completely unnecessary, so you can just ignore that for now. But what I am going to put is actually stuff in here. Now, we don't need to have a certain sort of function to activate this billboard because we already have this mouse click right here. So yeah. Now in here, what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to make this text say button resets in certain amount of time, and this number will go down and down until it hits 0, where this button will pop back out. Now, of course, after the timer hits 0, I should probably mention, I want this to actually disappear as well. So this whole text to just be like nothing. So yeah. Now I'm planning on making this text only 5 seconds for tutorial purposes, so that's what I'm going to do. Now, what I would personally do, of course there's probably a better way, but I'm just going to say for time equals, what was it? Oh no. Ah, yes, sorry. 5, 0, -1 from what I remember. Actually, I'll turn this to 1. 2, end. Okay. So what I'm saying here is, oh, that's something else. I'll put a capital so it actually changes to a variable. But what I'm doing here is I'm doing a for I loop, okay? So I'm basically creating a variable called time, and the number will start at 5, the number will stop at 1, and it will count down by 1. So that's why this -1 here is here. So it's taking out 1 from 5 until it is left with 1. So yeah. Now after that, let's do a quick test to show you what is actually happening here. Add a wait. Let's do 1 second. This is very basic. But what should happen is that the beautiful sound should play. And you can see that the number is counting down to 1. And pop, it is back out. Now you might be wondering, well, why doesn't it pop back out after, I don't know, 1 second, right? And keep going. Well, that's because this for I loop is basically stalling it, alright? It's playing the sound, popping it in, then, of course, doing the countdown, so that's this stuff over here in the output, and then it does this, right? Sorry. It doesn't go there and do it again, right? Because we have this end right here. This is a loop in and all of its own. So basically plays it, does the loop, da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. And then, of course, once it's done, it goes down here. So yeah, now you know, I guess, the basic part of what I'm planning on doing. Now we're just going to put this onto the actual text over here. So how do you do that, you may ask? Well, you just have to reference the text label. Now, since this is easily referenceable from workspace, I'm just going to do game.workspace and not script.parent or something. .board, because that is the name of my part. .surface GUI. .text label. .text. Sorry. Equals time. Now what I'm saying here is I'm referencing the board, so game.workspace.board. Then I'm referencing the surface GUI. That's why .surface GUI is there. .text label, and then text. So in the properties tab, right over here, I'm going to be changing this text here. And then of course, what am I changing it to? I'm going to change it to the timer. So what should happen, at least, is that the text will go from, I'll press the button, and the text will go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the button will pop back out. The text should not delete though. 4, 3, 2, 1, pop. All right. So that is that's at least done. But now I'm going to be adding the actual, button resets in part, and I will also be deleting the text once it is finished. So how do you do that, you may ask? Well, in terms of the button resets in, that's pretty simple. You just write button resets in a little space so that these aren't together, and ... time. Now what this is doing is that it's basically merging these two together, okay? Now I know that time is a number value, but when you're merging this with a string value, that's why these two dots here, merging string values, it just changes it to a string value as well, or in other words, text. So what this is doing is, let's say time was at 3, okay? It is going to reference the text label, change the text to button resets in, and it basically adds in whatever time it is. And of course, after that, after this loop is all done, I'm just going to copy and paste this as well. So I'm just referencing the text again, and I'm going to change it to nothing, because we don't want the text to say anything once the button is done counting. So if we run the game, and we press the button, which shall make the beautiful sound, button resets in 5, button resets in 4, button resets in 3, button resets in 2, button resets in 1, and pop. And you can see that the text is gone. It is literally non-existent. Of course, you know that the text label is actually still there, but the reason why it doesn't have anything on it is because the script changed it so that there is no text, as you can see up here. And of course, if we press the button again, you can see that the button resets billboard, does the same thing, and pop. So for the commenter who requested this, I hope I did fulfill whatever you were asking me to do. Yeah, that's honestly really all I have for this video. So yeah, of course, I should probably mention that if you want this text after the button to be something, just type whatever it is in here, and it'll pop up after the button is finished doing its work. So yeah, that's all for this video. I guess have fun scripting, be safe out there, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!